So, good afternoon, everybody. And in this class, we are going to discuss about the firewall design principles. So, the need for the firewall. So, we are discussing about the network security. In the network security, there are a lot of cases are available for infringing the data, and to protect them, we are in need of some protection devices like firewalls. So, the security concerns are addressed by means of the firewalls, and it will be acting as a perimeter defense to protect against the different attacks and to provide a security strategy. So firewall is a choke point of control and monitoring. So it is the point beyond which the data cannot infiltrate, and so it will be acting as a barrier for the any incoming data. So it is the control point, and so it is a single point where it provides the security, and it can also be monitored whether the security activity is been going on, what kind of security activities, all those things can be monitored by means of the firewall. So what are the different types of the files that is being handled, those things can also be assessed. And firewalls normally it will be interconnecting the networks with differing trust, and at one side it will be having a protected environment, and at the other end it will be having unprotected environment. It will be acting as a barrier between these two, and it will be connecting point between these two networks. So it imposes the restrictions on the network services. Only authorized traffic is allowed, and auditing and controlling access can also be performed, and at some point it can provide the alerts or alarms for abnormal behavior. So it provides the network address translation and usage monitoring, and it can also use to implement the virtual private networks using the IP security. It must be immune to penetration. So that is the condition for firewall. So it should not be compromised. So firewall. So here we have the internal network, that is the protected network on one side, and the external network or the untrusted network, that is the internet on the other side. So when you have the protected network, it will be protected, and the softwares also would be in updated in version, whereas from the internet, any files, any softwares can be downloaded, or it can be malfunction, and it can corrupt the internal network. So to protect them, the firewall is needed. And the limitations, it cannot protect from the attacks bypassing it. So sometimes if you are having any modems or trusted organization or sneaker net like that, if it is bypassed, the firewall has been bypassed by some other ways, then it cannot be protected, and it cannot protect against the internal threats. Say that any person working in the internal network provides some attack, that cannot be protected. It can protect from the outside organizations, but it cannot provide the security for the internal threats. And similarly, it cannot protect against the access via the wireless LAN. If properly secured against the external use, if improperly secured, it cannot be protected. If properly secured, it can be protected. And it cannot protect against the malware imported via laptop PDA or storage infected outside. So if you are connecting any devices, and by that device, then if you do the any malware being introduced, then it can be protected. So these are all the limitations of the firewall. And the firewalls, normally we will be having the firewalls as three distinct kinds. One is the packet filter firewalls, then the circuit firewalls, and the application gateway firewalls. So three kinds of firewalls are available, and the packet filters are the simplest one, and it provides the fastest firewalling, and it is the foundation of any firewall system, and it examines any IP packet, and it provides the rules for allowing or denying the packets. So it will be defining the rules, and based on the rules, if it obeys the rules, then the packet will be allowed, otherwise it will be denied entry. So it is having the restrictions, and it also have the default policies. If the default policies are nothing but if it is not been if it is not been expressed, then it is permitted, or in some cases it has been, if it is not been expressly prohibited, then it is permitted. And if it is not been expressly if its expression does not gives any permission, then it is prohibited. So this is the packet filters, and it will be utilizing the network layer, the session layer, transport layer, and other layers to read the contents of the packet, and then it provides the filtering, and then it controls the packet entry or the leaving. So here we have the private network. The private network has been covered by means of this packet filtering router, which has been connected to the internet through the packet filtering router. So these are the rules that's been defined, and here we have any okay. So it is allowed to so for the protected network, it is allowed to send any packet, and it is for the a particular host has been denied access, and it is given us some SpyGuard. The SpyGuard is being denied, and for any packets that is been sent from this network, this protected network, to any outside world, it has been allowed. Okay. And provided it is having the port number is 25, then the SMTP, okay, simple mail transfer protocol, the mailing is been allowed. So it is a mail forwarding rules that has been defined. So second one is nothing but it is going to be the B. The B, it is a default one, okay, and if it is not been defined, then it has been blocked. Okay, it is a default cases. So for allowing, then it will be giving some rules, and other than that, then the remaining would be blocked. That is the case. So here the third one is nothing but it is specifying the port, then it provides the allowing. So any incoming packets that is been addressed from the port 25, it is been allowed. So that is the third condition, and the fourth condition again it is nothing but it will be having the packets has been allowed. Okay, any packet that is been addressed from the 25 port has been allowed, and the replies are nothing but only if the acknowledgement flag is being set, then only it is been allowed. So that is the case. So again the fifth one is nothing but it is going to be the file transfer. So in this case again the same thing, and here we are having any port. So for the outside world, for the file transfer, if the port number is greater than 1024, so the 1023 means then that will be assigned the regular ports like SMTP port, FTP port, and some standard portings will be there. Whereas for the file transfer, if it is being sent to some other non-servers or something like that, means then it will be having a port number greater than 1024. So any transfer of information to the port number that is greater than 1024 is allowed. That has been given. That is meant for file transfer protocol. So these are the rules that is defines the communication from the internal network and the external world. So attacks on the packet filters, and here we can have the IP address spoofing, where the inside address is been given from the external world to give the address spoofing and to avoid the filtering of the packet. So it has to be identified whether it is coming from the outside world or it has been transmitting within the internal network. It has to be identified and then it has to be stopped. And then we have the source routing attack. So the attacker sets a route other than the default route. Then it will be avoiding the firewall. Then that kind of source routing packets also has to be avoided. And then to avoid the identification of the network addresses, sometimes the header information itself, it will be split into some tiny fragments and then it will be sent. So to avoid all those things, so in that case then the reassembly has to be done, and then it has to be understood, the contents has to be read, header information has to be read, and then the source and the destination addresses and all other information has to be read, and then it has to be allowed or discarded based on the content. So this must also be done. Without that, otherwise if it is some tiny fragments means, then it may not be having any information over whether it is the header information or what is the source address. All those things also would be hidden, and maybe it could be allowed. So to avoid that, we need to reassemble all the packets, and then we need to identify the contents, and then we need to discard or allow. And then we have the stateful packet filters, where the traditional packet filters do not examine the higher layer context, whereas the stateful packet filters address this one, and they examine each IP packet in context and keep track of the client server sessions and check each packet validly belongs to one, and hence they are better able to detect the bogus packets out of the context, may even inspect the limited application data. So firewalls. So the second one is the application level gateway, and here it is having full access to the protocol. User requests the service from the proxy, and the proxy validates the request as legal. Then the actions the request and returns result to the user, and can log or add it the traffic up application level. So here we need separate proxies for each service, and some service naturally support proxying, others are more problematic. So it is the application level protocols, and here it supports the a few applications like Telnet, FTP, SMTP, HTTP. These things are supported by the application proxy. And then we have the circuit level gateway. This here it will be having two TCP connections, and it will be relaying two TCP connections between one another, and then it imposes the security by limiting which such connections are allowed. So it will be having what kind of connections can be allowed or not, then it will be identifying them. Once created, it usually relays the traffic without examining the contents. Once the circuit has been connected, then the traffic will be continued without any examining the contents, and typically used when the internal users are trusted by allowing some general outbound connections, and normally it will be using the SOCKS server, and the SOCKS connection has been communicated by means of the internal users. So this is the circuit level proxy firewall, which connects the internal communication with the outside connection. By establishing the connection, then afterwards then the data traffic would be prolonged till the communication ends. So then we have the bash and host. It is nothing but it is the combination of these things, and here it is a highly secure host system. It runs the circuit or application level gateways, or it provides externally accessible services potentially exposed to hostile elements, hence is secure to withstand this. Like it will be having the hardened operating system, associated services, extra authentication, and proxies are small, secure, independent, and non-privileged. May support two or more net connections, and may be trusted to enforce policy of trusted separation between these net connections. So it will be performing a lot of functions to provide an entire firewall like system. So there are variations are also there. So host based firewalls, so it will be having the software module used to secure the individual host, and it is available in many operating systems, or it can be provided as an add-on package often used on servers, and the advantages are it can tailor fit to the filtering rules to host the environment, and the protection is provided independent of topology, and it provides an additional layer of protection. And some of them are nothing but they are the personal firewalls. It controls the traffic between the PC or workstation and the internet or enterprise network. A software module on personal computer has been established, or in home or office DSL cable or ISP router has been connected, and typically much less complex than other firewall types. Primary role to deny unauthorized remote access to the computer and monitor outgoing activity for monitor. So personal firewalls, it has been established. So here we have the Bastion host has been connected, and this one is called as the screened host firewall system. It is also called the single homed Bastion host. So it is having the private network that is being separated from the outside world or the internet by means of the packet filtering router and the information server. So this separates the protected environment and the external environment. So it is a single homed Bastion host. So the filtering rules are applied, and then it is providing. Whereas the dual homed Bastion host, here the physical separation can also be visible. So the two networks are different, so that more efforts are needed to break the firewall. Whereas in the previous case it will be requiring only a single system, but here it will requires at least more than two systems for breaking the firewalls. And the screened subnet firewall system. So here we will be having packet filtering on both sides, the internal side and also the external side. So for the external side only, the screened subnet alone has been advertised, so it does not know what are the internal systems being connected. And for the internal inside router also, it advertises only the screened subnet. So the internal systems may not be knowing about the internet. It cannot directly connect to the internet. So by that way it provides a more security. So this one is more secure than the other mechanism. So the screened subnet firewall system is more secure than the remaining cases. And similarly we also have the demilitarized zone networks, where you have the external firewalls and the internal firewalls at the perimeter, and it provides more security for communications. And we can also have the virtual private networks to be established, where it provides the firewalls with the IP security has been established for each network, and it provides the security. And distributed firewalls has also been another cases, where it provides the combination of the demilitarized networks and also the firewalls. So summary of the firewall locations and the topologies. So the host a resident firewall. So it is nothing but it is for a personal firewall. Then we can go for a host resident firewall. And normally for a single system, if you are using for a single system, then it could be for home based system, then it could be used. So second one is nothing but it is going to be the screening router, and then we have the single Bastion inline and a single Bastion T, where it has been applicable for medium level networks. And for double Bastion inline and double Bastion T, it is nothing but it is going to be the more suitable for large organizations, and for distributed firewall configuration it is more suitable for government organizations. So with this we have come to the conclusion, and the remaining things will be continued in the next class. Thank you.